Yo, what is up guys? So today we just got new information on the official Yu-Gi-Oh ban list for 2020, and that's going to be happening January 1st, 2020 for the OCG. Now, also we'll be talking a little bit about the TCG in a moment here, but that list has yet to be revealed. But first off, let's go ahead and check out the cards that are actually banned. So these cards are forbidden now. We've got the BANLIST as well as the Azathoth. Honestly, the Azathoth, it's really not that big of a problem. I actually just recently checked out all of like the top decks in the OCG and checking out like how many people are playing certain cards, because that's what I also want to talk about as far as, you know, what's actually winning in the game. But nonetheless, that's what's actually banned. BANLIST should have been gone a long time ago. As I thought, like, yeah, there were some crazy combos with a lot of those outer god cards, but for the most part, I don't really see it being that big of a deal if they actually hit it, because most people aren't even really playing it. But nonetheless, this is actually something pretty big over here. Coming off of the list, we got the Zodiac Trident. This is actually banned in the OCG and the TCG, and this card is actually pretty good. Just for a refresher of what the heck this card does, it's going to require 4 level 4 monsters, but you're usually not going to go ahead and use it to actually get that out. You just exceed summon it by using another Zodiac monster, but you just go ahead and slap it on. Once per turn during either player's turn, you detach material and then target a face-up card of the field and destroy it. Really great overall card, and it is now back to 1, although the rest of the Zodiac squad, well, that's yet to be revealed here. But anyways, as far as that goes, you guys let me know how you feel about that. Obviously, a lot of people just make something, slap it on top, and then you have like a reaction card to maybe stop your opponent's play. And then beginning of the end, this is the draw power that you see a lot of danger players use. And it was getting out of control, and like, oops, let me go ahead. It opens up the doors for a lot of just plays where your opponent just sits there, they go through all their cards, and then they go ahead and draw a bunch of cards, and it's really just the dangers that allow this thing to go completely off. I'm kind of glad that this card is getting limited, although if we look at what's topping over here, if we have like the most recent one, we can see beginning of the end, well, it's not really seen at all here. And this is the most recent one from December over here. There are, again, I know that there's other tournaments that might have been playing it, but I'm going off the more recent one that we have over here. Now, going into the Altergeist, Meluseek is now going to be semi-limited over here, so that's what we're going to be talking about now. And then also the Galatea. I felt like this change is really not that necessary. Honestly, 2 Galatea is perfect. If it would have been changed to 1, I would have actually kind of been like, okay. But at the same time, you guys can let me know how you feel about the Orcust hit over here. Is it really that bad to have 2 Galatea? I don't think so. Harp Horror, that to 2 is not that big of a deal either. But you know what is a really big deal? Deep Sea Diva going to 2. We just got that new confirmation of the Deep Sea archetype. I honestly wouldn't have been surprised if they put it to 3 just to push that set. But nonetheless, yeah, the Deep Sea Diva, if you guys haven't seen it, they're getting a whole new archetype, and Deep Sea Diva is like one of the best cards for that whole archetype. And now that it's at 2, it's going to be a lot more viable to run that card. Also, there's a huge boost technically to Mermails, not that I've seen them in a while, but it is one of my favorite decks. So, I mean, I like it, although I will definitely say that, you know, Atlantean Prisons is super OP. But anyways, next up we got Baby Ceresaurus. I didn't even see dinosaurs once on here. If we type in like Baby Ceresaurus, it's just not even there. I don't know why this was hit. If someone knows if there's some kind of cheesy combo, I would have thought of like Carbondon would be hit, because that opens up the doors for a lot of crazy combos, especially in the OCG/TCG. This card, it opens up the doors for so many well, we literally just featured how OP this card is. It's literally like it's a 1 card infinite negate combo. That or like a Mathematician, speaking of Mathematician, he's also now going to be semi-limited, and that's a huge bump over there. But in the TCG, we have 3 anyways. It's really not that big of a deal. But next up, something that is cool, Tour Guide. That's actually one of my favorite like 1 card exceeds in the game, and that card has been at 1 for so long. And it's great to see Tour Guide finally going to 2, so you can Tour Guide into Tour Guide. And then we also have Mathematician. But yeah, I'm really curious to know, what have dinosaurs done recently? I just haven't really seen them. But nonetheless, it's still not a bad deck. But yeah, putting Baby Ceresaurus 2, like, I don't get that. If they maybe like banned one of the cards, if anything, like Oviraptor, right? But nonetheless, that is at 2. And also Unicorn is at 2. This was formerly at 1, both for the OCG and TCG. I honestly feel like this card could go up. core if I can type it. So it's at 1 in the OCG and TCG, and then we just recently got a buff with Necros. Within the last few formats, they've been slowly buffing it up. Still, no one's really doing anything with it, so I could definitely see this change going into the TCG. This is the first one where like, this could definitely happen. Also, I definitely feel like the Deep Sea Diva could actually be changed as well, and that is simply due to obviously them coming out with a new archetype. It really helps out that one. Next up, the Thunder Dragon Aurora over here. This is also going to be at 2, as well as Circle. Semi-Great still see a little bit of play here and there, but there's a lot of stuff that just absolutely destroys that deck. It just kind of fell off after they hit it in the more recent list, but nonetheless, the Aurora is actually hit. It doesn't hurt the deck a lot, not that much, to be honest. And then also we have Mind Control at semi-limited. I've seen a lot more play within the more recent few months. Obviously, it's used in Skystrikers, but it's just an overall great card just to negate something that your opponent has and just take control of maybe like a Polosa. Like, there's a lot of things that where you just take it and you can do a lot of good work with it. But in the OCG, it was at 3, and now putting it to, I just don't feel like it does that much. But nonetheless, it's a small nerf, I guess, to Skystrikers at the end of the day, because multi-roll over here, which is actually a huge card. If we go to multi-roll over here, it is going, well, in the OCG, it was technically at 3, so that's actually a pretty big change, because that card sometimes, if you've played Skystrikers and you don't open up with this card sometimes, there's a lot of times we just straight up lose, plus it's also really great with Mind Control. But it's a very important card. Does it, like, make the deck unplayable? You guys can let me know how you feel about it. I don't think this makes the deck unplayable at all. Nonetheless, Alert of Darkness going down to 2 over there. And Alert of Darkness is just a really good card. There's so many cards that you get the effects when they're banished, or you can recycle the cards anyways. And it's been at 3 for so long, and I think it's one of the better draw powers. There's no downside. You can activate as many as you want per turn. You can still go to your battle phase, and a lot of draw power has some type of like drawback. Where, again, with Alert, I don't really feel like there is one, unless you have no darks and you activate it. But also, this is the most interesting choice, Red Reboot. Especially since they already hit Altergeist anyways right here, right? Oh, I didn't go over Meluseek. But this card is at 3 in the TCG, and it's at 3 in the OCG, but it's getting put to 2. But nonetheless, Red Reboot, it was like anti-meta-ish, but for the most part, I don't see Rogue seeing that much play, but a lot of people do side deck Red Reboot. If we go over here, we can go ahead and check out Red Reboot. We see, oh, hold on, I'm gonna go to the bottom over here. You can see that it's not in every single deck. A lot of people will side deck it. Look at this, 38 copies total, side decked 92% of the time. It's definitely a side deck card versus a main deck card. But again, with the whole side deck thing, there's a lot of really good cards. And again, I really don't feel like that this hurts it that much. But you guys can, again, let me know your thoughts of that down below. Now, for Unlimited, finally Shadow Mist goes to Unlimited in the OCG. For the longest time, let's go ahead and go to it. Shadow Mist was at 2. It was at 1 for a really long time too, but it really doesn't do anything on its own. I mean, you only really need to go into it once. You just assault to go right into the combo, right? For the most part. And then we also have Makaba over here. So this is the Invoked. It was at 1 before, so I guess Invoke can be a little bit more viable in the OCG, but again, it's at multiple in the TCG. Sometimes people just splash it into other archetypes. They'll just be like Invoked and then whatever, right? But at the same time, I feel like as far as this change goes, I don't see it making like a huge difference in the TCG, because, well, it's already at 3 anyways. I don't think that I have any plans to hit it. And then we also have Kaiju Slumber to clear board, but honestly with the Regeki Storm, I feel like it doesn't really matter anyways. But it is great for those other players that do kind of want to mess around with it. It was already at 2 in the OCG, but putting it to 3, I guess, is just a small little buff. Now here's where we finally get into like the what were you thinking, and I saw this and I was like, dude, wait, did I look at this right? Anyways, Chain Strike. I don't know if anyone's going to build some burn deck around it, but I always hate when I see this card like on the ban list where like they're buffing burn. I'm not a fan of losing to that kind of a deck, but nonetheless, it is definitely going to be something that people will try out. I don't know if it's going to be viable. That's the real question, because of almost every single deck playing like Ash Blossom, it really significantly hurts those chain decks, because they sometimes really need to activate Accumulated Fortune or certain other cards, and if you just stop that with 1 card, they just completely fall apart very, very fast. But at the same time, I'm not a fan of losing to burn, but that's my personal feels on Chain Strike. But there's also another big change over here, like Big Brain. Oh my gosh. Why did they put this to 3? I mean, technically in the TCG, we only have this one. Could you imagine triple? And also, I want to mention something over here. As far as TCG, we still don't have grass. OCG? Double crash, triple reasoning? That's insane, dude. And then also we have a small buff to, I guess, the Pendulum variant, which is the Draco face-off. But I haven't seen this card season play in a long time anyways. But that is indeed the ban list. Now, going over the TCG, yeah, you did kind of hurt Orcust. You did kind of hurt, at the end of the day, Skystrikers. But are they still going to be the supreme and dominant decks? I personally think so. I don't think this list actually hurts them enough. But also, looking at Unicorn, I think a lot of people will be more interested in playing this archetype. And especially if you go Unicorn, sometimes you literally summon this card and your opponent cannot Yugioh. And that's just, at the end of the day, that's what happens sometimes. If you don't happen to have that in permanence, well, you just give your opponent that handshake, man. But I really don't think this is going to shift up the game too much. I still think what's dominant now is going to remain dominant. And if we were to get this exact same list in the TCG, what do you guys think? Would you guys be happy with this, or would you guys be unhappy with it? I honestly would like to see Max C somewhere on the list in the TCG, so there's a little bit less, you know, no Yu-Gi-Oh going on. One person goes first and spams the board. But at the same time, if they go ahead and spam the board and then follow up with a Max C, what are you supposed to do, right? It just kind of offers that double-edged sword. But nonetheless, that's the ban list. You guys can let me know your thoughts down below on it. And if you guys have any ideas for what you would like to see on the TCG, definitely let me know down below. I do plan to make a ban list prediction / wish list here very soon, and I'll take your guys' feedback as well. Basically, I would like Skystrikers and Orcust to, you know, we need some newer archetypes. Konami, please make them great again. Other ones, other archetypes. You know, bring back Blackwings if you have to. I'm just tired of, honestly, I think a lot of people feel the same way. Skystrikers and Orcust every single game when you play in ranked. But anyways, thanks for tuning in, guys. Let me know your thoughts down below, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, drop a like on it. If you're new here, hit subscribe, turn on the bell, and I'll update you guys as soon as we get that TCG ban list, which will hopefully be sometime very soon. Thanks for tuning in. Have a good one, and I'm signing out. Peace.